What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be talking about most important part in every mascara, the mascara wand and or brush. A lot of mascaras are kind of similar formulas. However, there are several brushes on the market that may be exclusive to brands, and some of them can look intimidating. You're like, is that actually for my lashes? I don't understand this. So I'm going to go through most of the ones on the market today and their actual uses. It is the brush on the mascara wand that will ultimately determine exactly how your lash is gonna look. So if you do not know anything about me in particular, my name is DIMITRIA SPARROW and I'm here to make you the long, cool woman femme that I know you can be. Follow my Instagram and Facebook for the latest updates and content. If you like videos like this, please give me a like and subscribe. To put it in a broad sense, I'm gonna go over the basic rundown of mascara wands before we get into each and every single one. In general, on short, sparse lashes, big, bushy mascara wands can get quite messy on you. Comb brushes or very thin, skinny brushes are a lot easier to manage with smaller eyes and smaller lashes. Whenever you see a curved brush, think of it as curve equals curl. Curve is curl. It is meant to adhere to the basic shape. Big, bushy brushes are for volume, they're for coverage, and it's meant to get the job done a lot easier. They're not meant to be very precise. In people's cases where you tend to have more dense or long lashes, it's a lot easier to take care of. Your eye shape will heavily impact what type of mascara you pick up at the store. If you are deep set, if you have smaller eyes, big bushy ones will not work for you because you'll end up hitting, your eyelid because everything is just so compact and down there, you can't get into the nooks and crannies. If you got bigger eyes, on the other hand, bigger brushes will adhere to you. There's more room for it to spread its coverage and product. When you take a close look at your mascara wand, so I'm taking a look at it, and mine is a little more on the broad side, a little kind of traditional, but if I look at it kind of closely, all the hairs are kind of dense together. If these bristles are closely knit together, the more the lashes will pull more closely together. When you apply too densely, as in with a dense brush, it's spreading product in between and it's almost ending up fusing it together. You'd want to get a wand where the bristles are further apart. Now we're getting into it, okay? So we have two different fundamental types of mascara wands. You first have nylon bristles and plastic/rubber bristles. A plastic brush is more for separation and definition, whereas a nylon brush is more for volume and length. Nylon bristles tend to be a little more compact. There's more bristles in between, in that it's more for coverage, it's for that volume. The lashes will pull together a little closer to give that kind of blocky, full effect. Usually a big fat nylon brush is when you're really in a hurry because it gets a lot of stuff done really, really quick. So the first one is the curved brush. Like I said, curve is curl. This might be just enough curl for you. However, it's often very much advised to use a lash curler, and if you use a curling mascara on top of that, that will instantly add the volume and the femininity that you will so desire. So often this brush is catered to dead straight horizontal lashes. Next you have the cone brush or taper brush. It's kind of like a triangle. The top part is meant to get into the very corners, while the big broad part can lift and curl the outer part for a nice elongated, lifted cat eye. The more circumference there is in a wand, the more area your lashes have to curl. The ball brush, now we're talking. Okay, some people use it as their one and only mascara. God help them. It's mostly for just the really hard to reach areas. And the reason these tend to actually work, they do work, they're a lot easier to get close into the roots. A pointed brush is like a traditional random brush, except there's little bristles hanging out on the top of it. So you'd apply normally with this mascara, except you now have extra bristles to get into all of the corners. I'm gonna add 2 of these into one sort of category. They kind of do the same thing. There's one called a rectangle brush and there's one called a jumbo brush. These are, like I said, meant to give off a lot of coverage very quickly. It's not meant to be precise. It's not meant to get in really into the roots, but if you got big eyes, if you got long lashes, then these might be just the go-to for you. To this day, Marilyn Monroe has quite the influence in the beauty world to this day, and she found her body on a mascara brush. The hourglass brush is for a false lash effect. You're talking coverage now with this thing. It provides a ton of volume and lift. It may look strange right now, but trust me, with a lot of these, you kind of just apply it normally as you would with any mascara, except the brush will do something a little different depending on its shape. But if it's a different shape, then you're probably not going to be applying it differently. It's just the result is going to be a little different. So that is the hourglass. The skinny brush, like I said, is more for shorter lashes. This is mainly for defining. It can go right into the root very, very quickly without little to no mess. The comb brush is very interesting. This is meant for short lashes and causing as little clumping as possible. This will heavily define and lengthen, and secondly, a good tool for reducing all of the clumping because it's essentially a comb. So, I mean, it's not a lot of buildup. The S-shaped brush, apply normally despite the shape. There's a large focus in this on giving separation as well as volume. Okay, the rake-like brush, man trimmer-like brush. I'm looking at it right now. As far as I know, the only brand that does this is Avon. The Avon Mega Effects Mascara. It's meant to adhere to the shape of your lashes. The way you can handle it is adjustable at the handle. Surprisingly, a lot of people have used this and they've gotten decent results. This is just one of those goofy but surprisingly makes sense products. The thing is just nobody uses it. The bubble brush is excellent for curling. So what this is it's usually three individual balls. The bristles are shaped into kind of spheres in a row. This is excellent for coverage because in the middle of each sphere or each ball, there is product resting in there. Because in the middle of each ball, there is kind of a pocket of product. So it's really easy to add volume, length, and that nice curl that you want. You also find kind of spiral-like wands out there, and they kind of do the same thing. It's meant to where when you curl it, there's a different size bristle hitting your lash at different intervals in time. Does that make sense? So a lot of these are for volume and for curl. Here's an exotic one, the metal brush. The thing is, this one is really fun. I want to give it a try actually because it's not bristles, it's literally metal. So you pull it out and instead of bristles or an actual brush there, it's a metal rod. There are little grooves, kind of like a screw. That is where your lashes settle. The great thing about this is it's such a skinny wand that you can get super, super close to the roots. Definitely a very interesting pick. You also have brushes on the market that bend or hinge. If you find it awkward to basically apply this way, what you could do is get an adjustable wand to where you literally can take the wand and adjust it to where it's facing your lashes like this, but you're holding it like this. So you can kind of go, it's kind of like in classic like theater. The woman is like looking through glasses, but little binoculars. She's holding it like this. That's kind of what it's like. It's meant to give a more comfortable, natural feel to when you apply. And lastly, we have the miniature brush. So this is quite small. The bristles are quite far apart, and these are usually exclusively made for your bottom lashes. So the thing is, a lot of people tend to have a lot of trouble with the bottom lashes as they are so far in between and not as dense as the top part. And so sometimes you can get smudging involved and get the super awful spray. And so when you use one of these, it's a lot easier to get in there without a whole lot of fuss and without a lot of trepidation of what you might do. Okay, so those are all of the main mascara wands I know of that I think are worth talking about. Some weird ones, some kind of really cool ones. So let me know your thoughts. And if you do have any questions for me, please comment down below. I am not a big YouTuber, so I will surely answer all your questions. Stay beautiful, everyone. Take care.